Things I did this week. I went over to the BlackBerry website and I looked for their smartphone. They don't make any smartphones anymore. I thought they were still making some Android phone, right? Because, we have iPhones, we have Android phones. And there was, we had BlackBerry long ago, long time ago. We had the BlackBerry was its own platform. And then BlackBerry gave up on BlackBerry. And then they said, well, we're going to make some Android phones. I thought they still made those. They do not make those. So if you want to replace, if you are like, I'm going to stand up for Canada and I'm ditching my iPhone, I'm getting a BlackBerry, well, good luck. I mean, maybe you can find one on Facebook Marketplace, but it's probably old and not that great. So what do? What's a Canadian to do? If you're part of a Buy Canadian movement, if you're saying enough's enough with U.S. products, but you love electronics, let's try and find out how you can ditch American gadgets. Chris Abel joins us, tech expert extraordinaire. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So what's the deal? Of all the times, like BlackBerry, drop a phone right now. This would be perfect timing.
Yeah, welcome to my world as a tech reporter. I've been dying to talk about Canadian stuff all these years, and it's just a really rare situation. So Canada's really good when it comes to developing software and developing really great technology for industrial markets. You think of the automotive market or medical. But when it comes to consumer electronics, something where you can walk into a Best Buy and find it on a shelf, it's just a very, very rare thing. One of the first companies that I'll mention that's been doing very well is here in Toronto, a company called Nanoleaf. And they make smart home LED lighting systems, these beautiful panels that you can put onto your wall and match them up, triangles and shapes and all sorts of cool patterns, millions of different color combinations. That company has been doing very, very well. That's something that you can certainly go in and buy rather than, some of the other companies that make LED lighting solutions, smart home solutions.
Yeah, and that's true. Like the whole lighting, the LED lighting segment, technology-wise, it's very robust. There are so many companies that are making, lights that are connected to your phone, and you can talk to your house and turn on these lights, right? So it's a robust segment, and Canada is a leader in that segment.
Correct, and they've just turned heads, but with their latest product, they've entered the medical industry. They're going to release next month an LED light therapy mask. It's a mask that you wear that produces a range of near-infrared lighting to treat some common skin conditions, things like lines, acne, even skin tone. So it's fantastic to cheer on this company Nanoleaf because they continue to innovate, to come up with new products every 3 or 4 months, and they're well received and doing very well in the marketplace.
I know we're radio, but let's give it a shot. Can you describe what that mask looks like? Like, do I look like a member of Daft Punk? What does it look like?
Try, yes, if you are not someone that is sort of aware of the skin treatment marketplace, it can look very weird. It can look kind of Frankenstein, as if it's mummy bandaging with a robot mask. So this is a mask that fits in your face. It's got little rectangular slits for the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and then underneath is just an array of LED lights that go through a spectrum of different light treatments for the skin.
So let's talk about some other great Canadian companies that are making some consumer electronics that we should note. What else do you want to highlight here?
Well, I want to talk about Kanto Audio, which is based in Langley, and they actually make stereo systems, which is something that we often see, let's say, on a Best Buy. What they do is they come up with little powered systems for your home, and specifically ones that have really cool sort of colors. I love the fact that their latest speakers are available in orange, for example. Their latest model is called REN, R-E-N, and this is a speaker that you can is designed to hook up to your television. So one of the problems with televisions is that the audio can have a really weird mix, where it can be very difficult to hear the voices, the people speaking, compared to all the sound effects that are going on. And so this is a speaker that's designed to connect through HDMI and help sort out that mix. So now you can finally hear people who are speaking. You don't necessarily have to turn on the subtitles. That's something that Kanto Audio is offering. And again, they're based in Langley, BC.
And I'm looking at their website right now. So Kanto's with a K, by the way, Kanto, if you're going to search for Kanto Audio. And, that is a market. And by the way, I'm looking some of their products, right? Especially the stuff designed for TVs. Well, that certainly can replace a U.S. product, right? There's tons of those.
Yeah, I'm sure people are looking for when they go in and looking at Samsung and other companies that no, you can actually buy Canadian. Go ahead.
Yeah, and would you suggest could be a nice replacement for those sound bars? Like it seems like sound bars have taken off, but they may not be great for every situation. Would you recommend a
I
Kanto?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a sound bar is very effective, but again, it's something that sort of slides underneath the bottom of your TV, whereas what Kanto's coming up with is actually designed to look nice. It's kind of a good interior design choice, so I like that as an option.
All right, what else have we got here? What other consumer tech products out of Canada?
I'm pretty happy with Kidamento, which is a camera company based in Toronto, and they create cameras for kids. So one of the problems that they're trying to deal with is that parents sometimes don't want to get a smartphone for their younger children. And yet they want to hand them a camera to be able to explore the world with. And so Kidamento has come up with little digital cameras, sort of old school digital cameras that are the size for the hands of kids, that have the buttons for the hands of kids, and software that's very friendly and very educational. I love the cameras because they all have animal designs. So you have cameras that look like pandas or they look like kittens. And they're designed for different ages. So, the younger kids, they've got cameras that can actually print off stickers based off of the photographs you've taken. And then the older cameras, the cat camera, for example, has a selfie camera for the kids that are finally, getting 8 or 9 years old.
And I'm looking it up right now for everyone listening. Kidamento, K-I-D, Kidamento is how you can find these cameras. And yeah, they do look so playful and fun for kids and easy to use. We're with Chris Abel, tech expert, and we're taking a look at some Canadian consumer electronics that you can put in your home, and perhaps instead of U.S. products. Chris, you got anything else that you want to highlight?
Sure. I want to talk about a company called Phantom. So this is a Vancouver-based company. Again, F-A-N-T-O-M. Everyone uses starts off with a different letter, and I'm guilty with that myself, being K-R-I-S. But Vancouver-based Phantom, they make these high-tech wallets. So these are metallic plastic metals that you can put all your cards in, and then there's a little mechanism inside. So when you pull a lever, it fans out all your cards, like you would fan out playing cards, or a magician would say, pick a card. And then that makes it easier for you to select your cards, but it's also built in with MagSafe compatibility. So it can connect to your smartphone if you have a MagSafe phone. It can protect RFID. If there's any RFID cards, it will keep them from being scanned, from somebody else scamming them. And also it's got the ability to deal with things like air tags. You can connect those, keychains. I love the fact that if you're not an Apple fan, they even have come up with their own tracking card so that you can still find My with your Phantom wallet connected to your phone.
Okay, so it works with the Find My on the iPhone, but it's a non-Apple product.
Correct.
Great. I've been looking for something in that form factor, right? The card form factor. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been using one, and I love it, actually. I find it very handy in terms of finding the right card at the right time.
Chris, let me ask you to wrap up here. A lot of American companies that we all use, Apple and Google and Microsoft, you name it, we're using all this stuff. I'm sure in your line of business, covering the tech industry, you know firsthand just how many of these big, quote-unquote, American companies, they have great staff, offices here in Canada, and they employ tens of thousands of Canadians. Any that you just want to use? Do you want to spend a moment here about the Canadian talent that, is part of maybe American companies?
Oh, definitely. So a lot of these companies, they do have headquarters here. That's to be able to support all the Canadian companies who are working with them. So, Apple will have partnerships with lots of Canadian companies, so they have to have staff here to be able to support that. You also have electronics companies that, because Canada has a big, huge movie-making space, we have lots of companies who are making movies here. They will have staff here just to make sure that they supply Apple products to be used as props in movies, that kind of thing. So they have big staff here in Canada working just to represent their interests, but also to offer localized approaches, to be able to understand that Canada has very different needs from the Americans in terms of how we will use Apple products here.
Chris, listen, let's continue to work at getting BlackBerry back on the market with a smartphone. And thanks so much for the time this morning.
Thank you.
Tech reporter Chris Abel right there.